Hello there, universe. How's it all going? How are you all hanging? Wonderful? Sublime? However it is, that's a good thing. At least you're there, in one piece, with me, sat here, watching the downloading package button. How has it been? It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. A hot minute. I had all these plans for last week. And then, do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? I'm a very lazy slime. Well, that and the fact that, so I have my OBS up on the TV, so which is behind my monitor. So normally it's just got, YouTube replays of Toonami and Saturday morning cartoons and nonsense like that you can have in the background whilst you're doing something else, which of late has been play Call to Arms and Star Trek Online. But anyway, so that's where I normally put OBS so that I can, try and at least see things and catch things and move things around as required. But unfortunately, the batteries in my remote control ran out. And it took a while for Amazon to bring me normal batteries, not complicated batteries, normal batteries, just normal old AA batteries. That took them a while. And by then it was kind of late in the week, and I had an extra long hobby day on Saturday kind of afternoon and Sunday afternoon. So by the time we finished that, it was probably about 4, and by 4 I really needed to start cooking, which meant I didn't finish up until like 7. And on Saturday, that means I'm starting to play a game at 8:30. Is it 8 I start on Saturdays or 8:30? I think it's 8. I think I start at 8 on a Thursday. Start at 8:30 on a Tuesday. Anyway, so yeah, I ran out of time basically. Same on Sunday. By the time I'd sat down and I was ready to play games and stuff, I was just tired, and I had all these Star Trek books to read, so I read the Star Trek books. And I've not got the overhead set up today because oh dear, it vanished. Because why haven't I got it set up today? Because we don't need it. That's why. I've got a whole bunch of figurines that I need to paint as well, right? And particularly for the game that we're looking at today, which is Sacrifice. Using the little miniatures might be kind of cool, but then it might not be because, we need to have some eldritch horrors to really mess with our players. Well, our character, our one character. So Sacrifice labels itself as an Incense and Iron RPG. So really the shows that it's best related to, if you're thinking of theme, mood, texture, deliciousness, you're looking Claymore, Berserk, which is the one that you talk about the most. So Claymore, Berserk, Bastard are probably the three kind of good examples of this. And the game is actually geared towards one-on-one play or solo play. It has a whole bunch of oracles in it for running solo play. I recently got a physical copy of Mythic Game Engine, so we'll probably use Mythic Game Engine to run this, which is convenient because, as anyone who reasonably frequently watches this stuff will know that I have the Mythic game emulator installed into my foundry. So yeah, that'll be cool. So that means we get a whole bunch of tables in there. We will start off with kind of simple. I probably could have done with having the overhead. So it kind of the basic mythic, and then kind of just use mythic a lot, I think, going forward. Oh yes, and yesterday I didn't play because I got back from work at like... Oh, when did I get back? I got back from work about 7:10 in the evening. And then maybe 7:20. So I was already late. And then I ate pizza because my housemate got us pizza. And then I fell asleep. So I wasn't feeling it yesterday. Which is a shame because I need to wrap up that Star Trek, that last Star Trek adventure, and then roll into the next one. Let's update my background because that's not feeling very. That's not feeling very grim dark. That's what I was looking for. That's the word that I was thinking of. This one's probably do. Okay. Oh, look at that. A blasted wasteland from some kind of terrible, terrible conflict. 70% on BellyWiki Maps Premium Towns. It's coming. I guess whilst we're here. Let's set this to be the right size, so then we can share it. Fit one page full width. That's what we're looking for. Yes. And this book doesn't have my name at the bottom of it. This is good. Not that one. This one? Yeah. Chrome. What I probably want to do is make this one a bit bigger and this one yoink over here a bit. No! This one over here a bit. Yeah. Cool. So, an Iron Incense RPG by Alex T. We're mostly interested in character generation. I've made one of these before, but I can't remember how I did. We're at 75% of Belly Wikis. Okay, cool. How to sacrifice pay, doesn't matter. Advantages and disadvantages, fine. Critical failure and success, whatever. Opposed checks, yeah, whatever. Normal stuff. Roll 3d6 6 times, once per character ability, blah, 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 blah. And then assign each result. So we can roll all of our dice first and then put them. So I seem to remember when I last did this that the character just felt too weak for the principle behind the system, which is one character tough enough to go to hell and come back, etc, etc, etc. So I'm going to do 4d6 drop for lowest. Right? Sounds good. Because I think that gives better stats, which feels like it makes more sense for this role. Because I mean, it's like you're looking at, you know, aforementioned kind of guts. I can't remember the Claymore in Claymore. I can't remember what the name of the person is in Bastard either. But those characters are kind of like pinnacles of their trade, right? And this is why they managed to get as far as they do. So we'll bear that in mind. In sacrifice, all characters are human. Fine, yeah. There are no character classes. You choose 3 feats from the available ones. This allows you to customize your character. You must always pick 2 weapon and 1 armor proficiency. Okay. As a branded, you start at level 3. Last but not least, finishing touches, overall appearance, gender, age, quirks, a basic backstory, and any other thing you think can help you understand. Blah de blah de blah de blah. As a new character, you start with 80 silver pieces. This is good. This is clever. This is wise. So I would personally go even further. I would get rid of the. We're going to, in fact, because we can, can't we? We'd get rid of the relationship with a precious metal, right? So we'll just go pennies, right? You can start off with 80 pennies. If we just call finger silver pieces of pennies, and off we go. Problem solved. Cool. So where are we at? 85%. Right. So we're almost there. Right. So then we also, as we mentioned, there are no character classes. As a branded, you have survived something that seemed impossible. This is mostly thanks to a specific trait that sets you apart from fellow humans. Yeah, because I made a character, right, when I started, and they were like pure average, right? Blissfully average, my first character. We'll probably be able to see it once this package is finished downloading. But super basic, but with titanic strength in inverted commas, or maybe it was lightning reflexes. There is still only a 16. And, like, there are completely average dudes in the rulebook who are pretty much like these are monsters, beasts, right? So yeah, this makes sense. Bone snappers, but maybe it's down in humans. There we go. Right, so it's like my dude wasn't like any tougher with his superpower than any of these kind of like default enemies. The advantage, of course, we had is that he was level 3 and they were all like level 1, but still, you kind of see where I'm going with this, is that with the standard sweep, right, you're not going to be any better, and in fact, you're going to be probably markedly worse than most of these characters, right? Given that you're going to average out at 9.5. Which means you will probably be, if you only roll straight 3d6, you'll probably be worse than a commoner. Right, so hence 4d6 drop for lowest. We're at 91% for Belly Wiki Maps Premium. But alright, I have a character sheet, so score, mod, save. Sometimes I think that, well, often there's a better way of doing it. It's like a bunch of people talk about, well, really, you only need to think about, unless you're using roll under skills to do skill checks, which I think is naff. Just use target saving throws, flat d20, aim for a target number plus your modifier, right? That way the actual score doesn't matter very much once it's translated, because the time when score comes in important, and I think that's when you start thinking about the ecosystem of spells in the OSR and its relationship to statistics, is that when you have a monster that reduces your constitution by 1, for example, and you're going from 0 to 18, or 3 to 18, that's a lot more steps than if you're only using the flat modifier as the only thing on your sheet that represents your attribute ability. statistic, whatever we're calling them today. 95%. So yeah, anyway, so this is a character sheet. Some basic numbers. Mastery die. I can't remember what masteries do. But yes. Cool. Top of the bananas to you. But also you'll see in here, like, there's lots of random encounter tables and description tables and other stuff that really helps for the kind of dynamic solo and co-op experiences that we love because we don't have any friends. Bish bash bosh. Which allows us to spend our time playing on the internet. And we also don't like computer games, so we've got no other choice. I mean, I used to like computer games, but the computer game I liked the most was probably Civilization 2. Maybe it's called Power 2. Probably called Power 2. That was a good game. I enjoyed that a lot. Called Power, if you hadn't ever encountered it, was like a Civilization clone made by the company that owned the rights to the Civilization board game. And it was originally called Civilization called Power. But they introduced a bunch of really cool ideas that just made it a far better game. In my opinion, many a person will disagree with me, and they're wrong. But what you get is that, you could build armies, and the armies had front ranks and back ranks. So if you had archers and swordsmen, the swordsmen would be in front and the archers would be at the back, and they'd engage. And that was cool. Particularly when it came out, which is like mid to late 90s. They also had the kind of like public works. You didn't have like a little dude that went out to build the public works. You accumulated points as part of your taxes, which you could use to do the thing, right? Do. Build the works around your places. Oh, cool. We've finished. Happy days. Let's go back over to here. This one. This is what I'm looking for. Chrome. And it's not very important. Let's go to the game worlds. You don't need to see. Sacrifice. But I suppose I will show. I think I will. I don't know what state it's going to be in once I launch the game. It's probably all going to be broken, but we'll see. Let's hide you. Yes, hide you. Okay. Oh, the old character was called Harm. That's a name and a half, eh? Hold on. Do we have to go into here and go to manage modules? We do. All of our modules are turned off. How sad. We only care about you. Because we spent so long. Oh, wow. We spent so long installing. I'm going to turn them on. I should probably get. Yeah. I wonder if there's like a good token resource. I don't need to worry about hexagons. I don't need to really worry about roofs. So let's just card tiles. Yes. Card tokens. Yes. Chat images. Yes. Chat portrait. Yes. City drawbridge, city temple, classic compendium UI. I've kind of given up on that. Clipboard image, though of course it won't work because I don't have HTTPS enabled on my little local computer, mainly because one of my friends uses a really old Apple machine and it doesn't play nice with insecure certificates, locally generated certificates. So that's that. I can't do it, even if I wanted to. Dice so nice. We always want dice so nice, and we want dice tray. Custom fonts is cool. Cipher. I don't need any of this. I don't need describe. I don't need dungeon draw. One day we'll play. I think when we do Traveller, we will make use of 4Ian's quest log, right? And maybe if we find, because we're looking at doing Mithras tomorrow, that'll be more character generation. You're just going to bear with me again and go through a lot of character gen. Hourglasses. We like hourglasses. Group initiative, GM screens. What else do we need? LCAR's UI for Star Trek Adventures. It doesn't really work anymore properly. Not really matters for this. Library chat, lock view, minimal UI. I like minimal UI. Yes. Module management plus. I don't really care. Active tiles is already turned on. I like Monk's scene navigation. And we like Monk's token bar, don't we? We do. Multi-face tiles, we like those. Multi-face tokens, we like those. Mythic GME tools, we like those. We don't need PDF pager. We like Pincushion, but we might not need it. We don't need PMP. We don't need a political map overlay. We don't need pop-out. We don't need portrait box, but we'll turn it on anyway. We don't need scabbard. We do want roll tables from the sidebar. We do want share media, even if we're not going to use it today. We don't want the calendar. We do want one of the weathers. Probably small weather. We want the weather that isn't plugged. Is it small weather or is it the cheap weather? I think it's more cheap weather. Tabletop music, yes. So then we can start having an audioscape for our exciting conversation, can't we? Tokenizer. We might use some tokens. And weather FX, yeah. Weather control. I think weather control is probably good enough. And there we go. I think that's all the modules that we need for now. Save. Yes. Clipboard disabled. Sharp. Okay. Oh no, we missed a module. Hold on. Back to manage modules. Sheet. Freeform sheets. This is what we need. Save module. Yes. Your system does not appear to be D&D. Yeah, I know. Use this menu to import. I don't want to import. Harm. Freeform sheet. There we go. So this is the character that I had before. I think I probably ended up rolling for this was probably a replacement. So longsword and war pick, nice weapons, medium armor. They were definitely strongs. But yeah, this was the first character that we got. I can't remember anything about them. They had one eye. So I also kind of think like the clergy are just always evil. So that's cool. But anyway, let's go. Let's make a character. Create character. Create actor. Well, the last one was called Harm. Let's call this one Malice. Great new actor. Okay. That's funny. We'll think about a picture for the character later. I think I've got a whole bunch of tokens somewhere. I just don't know where. As in, like, that I've paid for, and not that I have liberated. If I look at harm for a second, so hit points are nothing special. Okay, so that was a lot of effort I went to there. I think I put into a lot of effort of putting all those bits and pieces in, and then they didn't work because oh, that's cool. Why didn't they work? For a good reason. Trust me. Music. Looping. New in this update? No. All tracks. Oh, they've moved things around. Playlists. Atmosphere. Dreary. That sounds about right. Oh, we've already got a bunch of them in here as well. Cool. Oh, we already had dreary in here. That's not entirely surprising. Let's see what these listen like. Oh, perfect. That's what that sounds like. Oh, listen to that. Okay, anyway, let's fill in this sheet. Let's do something about this. It's a bit big. But what? Uh-oh. Problem. That's a problem. That one only goes up and down. Definitely a problem. And we can't move it. Hold on, I'm going to have to make my screen too big for you. And then I'm going to have to zoom. Ah! No, not like that. Zoom. That's more like it. Okay. Very good. So, name. So with this, you right click and then you type in your information. That is a bit too small. Many more points. 48 points. If I go here, then go. Too late. Okay. Malice. This one can go away. There we go. You. Come here. Come. Be good text. There we go. Malice. Right. Numbers. What was it again? Roll 4d6. Drop lowest. Right. So 2, 4, 6, 12. Okay, so we've got a 12. Number 2. Number 3. number 4, number 5, number 6. Wow, these are some terrible rolls. All of these are rubbish. Rubbish set of rolls. It's like, hello, would you like an entirely, completely and utterly average character? With no bonuses, because let's just double check the bonus numbers. So, yeah, you need a 13, it's like a traditional OSR, right? 13 to 15 for +1, 16 to 17 for +2, and 18 for +3. So this is literally useless. So we're going to re-roll. It's a shame you can't do something like that and then do like a loop just to repeat the roll 6 times. I wonder if you can do something like that. Roll. I don't know. Put like a thingy around it and do like 6. No. Square brackets maybe? No. Curly round brackets? Round brackets? No. Okay, so you can't do it. Did you do that? No. Could you do that? No. Okay. Let's just do this then. 1. That's better. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Okay, well that's far better. Okay, so we've got... Go to those little experiments. 16, 14, 13, 10, 15, 16. Because this game doesn't, if I remember correctly, doesn't have any magic. For characters, at least, to start with. If we go for proficiencies, feats, right? So we got analyze fighting style. Oh, let's share this. So there's what? Analyze fighting style, armor focus, Achillean war dancer, backstab, brawler, breath control, capable colossal wielder, combat prosthetics, all combat-y stuff. Light healer's pretty useful. Vigorous, unstoppable, unbreakable, taunt, spot weakness. So really, combat stats are where we're at. So yeah, we want the strength, the constitution, and then the dexterity, right? And we've got 2 16s, a 15, so we'll do 16, we'll do 16, we'll do 15, we'll do 14, we'll do 10, and we'll do 13, right? Good for a start. And then we get this +2, so we'll take the +2 to strength, because of course we do. So change that to 18, which gives us modifier of 3, 0, not 9, 0. 13 is a 1, 15 is a 1, 16 is a 2, 14 is a 1, right? Cool. 13, 81, 1, 2, and 1. Cool, top bananas. Branded, you bear the mark of a sacrifice, a terrible scar that is marked blah 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 blah. We can detect demons, Useful. Within a radius of 30 foot, the mark of sacrifice burns as if it was just carved into your skin anew, causing 1 damage. After focusing for a second, you know which direction the bad guys are in. Useful. So, oh yes, level 3. I'm not done yet. When your character reaches 0 hit points, you can perform a Constitution saving roll to not be dead. Luck may be spent automatically pass the saving throw, but it must be declared before rolling. I don't do that. I think that's a bad roll. I always think of bad rule. I always think that these declare before rolling luck scenarios kind of fail to understand what luck is, right? I mean, what we're attempting to create via the concept of luck, right? Which is, oh look, because I am, somehow, I've defeated the dice almost, right? So having to need to use it before declaring is silly. But anyway, luck can be used to retreat from combat. If the whole party wants to retreat from combat, they must each spend 1 luck. This means that incapacitated allies can be dragged away by surviving ones. Luck is recovered at a rate of 1 per day. A character's luck is equal to half their level rounded up, so we start off with 2 luck points. Cool. Mastery die. Each time your character is involved in combat with opponents with a number of hit die lower than their level, you can use mastery die. In your turn, you automatically deal D4 to any opponent within range. This represents passing blows and lesser strikes that the character deals to those around them without much thought due to their mastery of combat. So this starts off at D4. Okay, cool. So if you pass it, fine. Accumulated hit points 3d8 plus 2d8 plus 8. Okay. 2d8 plus plus 8. Roll. Good dice, bad dice. I don't take 1s on hit dice. Go away. No, you see, I still don't take 1s on hit dice, no matter how many times you give me them. Right, that's better. 21. It's the same as the last one. Because at the end of the day, as much as I enjoy making characters, I don't enjoy it that much. As your character progresses, earns points, they become better. You get experience points for murdering demons, basically. So we get 3 feats, 3 skill points, and 1 combat maneuver. So, skills. All characters possess a set of skills that are modified by their ability scores. As a new character, you can increase 3 different skills by +1. Right? This is because we're level 3. This was I found this hard to understand for a moment, because I didn't realise when I first kind of flicked through the character creation rules that you start off at level 3. And I was like, but it says that here I get 3 plus 1s, but here it says I get 1 feat and 1 plus 1. No. You get 3 feats, 3 skills, and 1 new combat maneuver. But anyway. So what this generally means is that you get the modifier from here, in here, plus your skill level. So what do we want to put points into? I think it's all pretty self-explanatory if we shrink this, right? So what's our dex modifier? Our dex modifier is 1, right? So for all these we can put 1. Any other dexes? Yeah, there, 1. There, 1. Okay. That's it for Dex. Yeah. Acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth. It might be worth putting a little bit of stealth. We'll see. Wisdom. My wisdom modifier is 1, so 1, 1, 1, 1. Next, strength. My strength modifier is 3. Athletics, 3. Only 1 strength-based thingamajig. Lots of intelligence skills, but that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. They're not smart. That's fine. We don't need smart. What we need is violence. Always choose violence. And charisma is 1 again. Right. Deception, manipulation, performance. Okay, and so we get 3 bonuses to these rolls. I have 2 for Constitution, but nothing uses Constitution. That's fine. Let's have a point in investigation. Alright, so let's take that to 1. Let's have a point in perception, because I like the sound of that being 2. And let's put a point into let's put a point into acrobatics. Right. Sounds good. Next, proficiencies. A character that is proficient in a skill has advantages over. When it comes to weapons and armor, proficiencies work a bit differently. So mastery dice. Right, okay. So at 4 we get a new proficiency. But we don't have a proficiency yet, because we're still only level 3. So what are we feeling? Character's base defensive level is 10 plus their dex modifier. Wearing armor changes this, but then the character's dex modifier is always... Oh, right. But the character's dex number is always added, so you always get your dex bonus. That's handy. Makes you wish that it was a 16 in dex as opposed to a 15 in dex, but... You know, we are where we are. The question is, are we going to go for big two-handed weapons? Are we going big two-handed weapons, sword and board, or dual wielding? That's really the question, right? So, analyze fighting styles. Select an opponent. So there's actually quite deep combat rules in the game. Which is fine because it's like solo, and so it's quite, you know, you get that time to play around with combat, and selecting what kind of move you're going to do and whatnot. So it's analyzing fighting style, which select an opponent you fought against for at least 2 rounds. Your DL is increased by 2 when targeted by the chosen opponent. That basically means as the combat goes on, you become harder to hit. Armor focus. Choose 1 type of armor while wearing the chosen type. Your DL is increased by 1. Fair enough. Kellyan War Dancer. Add wisdom modifier to your DL when unarmored. No, I don't think so. Double your arm. Backstab? Nah. Brawler. Your unarmed attack deal D6 of damage. Interesting. So also, if you remember, we were talking about, one of the reasons why I picked this system was the opportunity to play a game where we could have kind of like a more Conan style, tough ombre. So that might be interesting. Breath control. Perform a dex check to disengage from combat. If you succeed, you recover D4 plus level stamina. DM, you might want to make this feat an innate capability for all characters in case you want a faster paced combat. We'll bear that in mind if we find combat not fast paced enough. Capable, gain a proficiency with a weapon, armor, blah 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 of your choice. Oh yeah, and also, when it comes to weapons and armor, proficiencies work a bit different. A character without the correct weapon proficiency has disadvantage when wielding it, while a character without the correct armor proficiency has disadvantage on dex and athletics checks while wearing it. Newly created branded cat begin the game with 2 weapon proficiencies and 1 armor proficiency. So the question really is, well, let's dice roll for this. I don't really 1 to 2 dual wielder, 3 to 4 sword and board, 5 to 6 colossal weapon, right? 4 sword and board. The most boring of the solutions, but it is solving our problem. So let's have a look through this list to see, because now we can know that we don't need to worry about things like colossal wielder. Master thief, marksman. Oh, I could have gone for a bow person as well, but Demon Slayer, plus 2 damage versus monsters, demons, and apostles. That sounds good. Corporeal Purity. When the subject is affects poison. Nah. Frugal. You only require 1 ration every 2 days. Pretty good. Fierce. You can continue conscious and fighting until your hit points have reached -10. Useful. Again, I vaguely seem to remember the last time I played this, I just got stuck with my endless stream of bad dice rolls again. Improvised weapons. Inquisitorial Fury. A human target is affected by fear if you perform a successful manipulation check. Light sleeper, you have the advantage on all perception checks while sleeping. You only need 4 hours of sleep per day. Kinda cool. Patience. Penitence even. No. Polearm backstrike. Oh, that's when wielding a polearm, you can perform a free attack every turn that deals D4 damage. You must still roll to hit as usual. Precision warrior, we increase the critical range from 19 to 20. From 20 to 19 even. Relentless, roll weapon damage dice a second time and use either total once per round. Okay, so that's basically roll damage twice, pick highest number. Resilient, increase a saving throw score by 1. Savage, increase your mastery die damage to D6. That sounds useful. Again, I kind of remember getting vaguely irritated with mobs who wouldn't die on me. Shield expert. While carrying a shield, you may perform a strength ability check to completely avoid a death blow once per combat. That's probably worth getting, given we're going to be sword and board. So let's just write that one down. Feats. We might get rid of it later. Shield. Shield expert. Choose a weapon. Signature weapon. Choose one weapon type. +2 to attack rolls when wielding your signature weapon. Oh wow. We could have superhuman strength. You can wield two-handed weapons with a single hand. Requires strength 18 plus. Well, we've got strength 18, so we could do that. That's interesting, eh? Superhuman strength. Wield two-handed weapons, one-handed. I like the sound of that. I like the sound. Shield, claymore, slashy, slashy, smashy, smashy. Yeah, let's go for that. Come back. Superhuman strength. Superhuman strength. So that's going to be cool. We can carry that. We can carry those. And then I suppose no will of God. Not interested in God. That's mainly, I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but it's my biggest problem with a few of the kind of early medieval period games is that they're very into making God like actually a thing, as opposed to just, you know, a collection of beliefs of a particular set of people. So this is a problem in both Ars Magica and Wolf of the Lambs? The other one that I was talking about last time. Vaguely annoying. Right, one last feat. Let's take something interesting, because those are both kind of, yeah. I think analyze fighting styles, maybe. Analyze fighting styles. Light Sleeper? Master Thief. That's for one. Let's have Master Thief. So that gives us the advantage on all stealth and sleight of hand checks. If we're thinking Conan, right? Now we get one combat maneuver. So, we're not going to have allies. Combat awareness. Make a perception check when a creature makes an attack against you, turning it into a miss if your result is higher. Combat Thief. Confusing parry. Create an opening. Deflecting stance. Disarm. Disable armor. Double shot. Far shot. Feint. Forceful attack. Perform a standard attack. If it hits, it deals as normal, and you push your opponent. The target must succeed at a blast saving throw or be knocked down, resulting in them being prone until they manage to get back up. Interesting. Intimidating blow. Perform a standard attack. If it hits, it deals damage as normal. Your target is at a disadvantage when attacking you for the next 2 rounds. That's pretty cool. Protect now. Quick reload, roll out, savage attack. If it hits, add 1d10 to the damage. That sounds nice. Yeah, that's W's. Yeah, I think. What was I talking about? Offhand parry, point blank shot, protect. Grapple, forceful attack. I like the fact they'll be at a disadvantage, so let's use intimidating blow. Combat maneuvers. Intimidating blow. So that sounds cool. That's the one where if we successfully hit them, they disadvantage for the next 2 rounds. I like that. Cost 5 stamina. So D8 plus level, and I presume you roll that at the start of every fight. So that's the combat maneuver. But one of the cool things in this, so if we're going to share this, so one of the cool things is that your weapon improves over time, so that's quite cool. So this is something I'm not into. I've got no interest in being in the Inquisition. Because I don't know. I just think it's lame. Well, we'll probably do it anyway. Anything else on here that is? Oh, yeah. So if you don't like yourself, there's a bunch of other starters that you can get. Starting Trinket, Demeanor, Knight Errant. Tomb Robbers. Anyway, melee weapons. So 2-handed weapon. A maul, a great sword. I mean, it's 30 silver pieces, right? But for proficiencies, let's have it's a great sword, and let's do right down the other end of the spectrum. Right down the other end of the spectrum. Let's have the because we can use all these 2-handed weapons one-handed, right? So, but I feel like let's take being at disadvantage for any weapon that isn't your 2 picked weapons is a challenge, eh? So if my great sword has a problem, no, dagger. Let's just go dagger. Shall we, or shall we go more? I think it's funny that we got bastard sword and long sword as 2 separate things. I mean, I know they are, but I mean from a proficiency standpoint, yeah. And the bastard sword is heavier, I suppose. I mean, a halberd's going to be a reasonably common weapon on the battlefield, and you can use a halberd one-handed. So let's use a halberd. That'll upset people. My ears itching. It's annoying. Annoying. Very, very annoying. Okay. Armor. Is armor in here? Armor. On my previous one, I just had medium written down for my armor proficiency, but I wonder if I'm supposed to be super specific. Weapon properties. Let's go back up to this. Free feats. 1 armor proficiency. Does this mean a specific piece of armor or proficiencies? A character that is proficient in a skill has advantage on checks involving that skill. When it comes to weapon and armor, proficiency works a bit differently. A character without the correct proficiency has disadvantage when wielded, while a character without the correct armor proficiency has disadvantage on all dex and athletics checks. Newly branded begin the game with 2 weapon proficiencies and 1 armor proficiency. It's weird. Because I don't see it making much sense, if you bear with me. Critical hit damage. I don't think it makes much sense that the character would be trained in chain shirt versus scale mail versus cuirass versus half plate. I kind of would have imagined that all medium armor is just medium armor, because otherwise that feels a bit silly. Also feels a bit silly that someone who has strength 18 is going to have a problem with wearing padded armor or cloth. To be frank, I think the armor proficiency doesn't make much sense, because you're already kind of prohibited by the cost of the armor anyway. So I'm just going to ignore. I'm going to ignore that. I reckon that once you're at strength, once you've got a high strength, and if you're able to meet the strength limits, I don't really see, other than maybe full plate, because full plate, I presume, is suit, as opposed to half plate, which I presume is kind of like plate mail. I guess. We'll see. Anyway, with that, yeah, I guess now we spend some money. So one thing that's kind of important is getting the armor. Even if it's is this a DL additional? Because if it is, then it's probably worth just getting the padded armor of a brigandine, and then of a hide armor, and then replacing it once we can get something more. Let's double check how armor DLs armor. Defense level. A character's defense level is 10 plus their dex modifier. Wearing armor. Alright, so the armor only changes the base number. Fine. So your base number is 10 unless you've got armor, in which case it's whatever the armor's number is. Fine. So then I don't understand. Again, it's like, I don't see why you'd ever take chain shirt over hide armor. They're both medium. None of them have any strength or thingy modifiers. Why would you ever take the chain shirt over hide armor? Doesn't make any sense to me. Shield. Shield is important. How many pennies did we start off with? Yeah, 80 silver pieces, 80 pennies. Okay. So 80 silver pieces, 80 of your finest pennies we can purchase. Where have we got equipment on here? No. That's why Let's just make sure we pick. So the great sword is 30. 30. So weapon. Great sword. Hits. Dunno. Damage. D12. D12. Properties. Slashing. Slashing. And it's not two-handed because I can wield two-handed weapons one-handed. So that's 30 silver pieces. Okay. And we don't need to worry about that. Okay. So then we'll take hide armor. Have we got somewhere else for that? No. Okay. Weapons, character details, feats. No place for the equipment. But hide armor will mean that our base is 13 plus our dex, which is 1, so our defense level is 14. Feels like a low number, but you know. And we're going to buy a shield. So the shield is 20 silver pieces. So that's 60 silver pieces spent so far. So the shield gives us 16. That sounds like a better number. I like 16. And that leaves us with 20 pennies left. Ugh. Look at that screen. Very annoying. I can't be bothered to do the fractions. Rations. 5b, 1 penny. Everything that's below 1 silver piece is just going to become a penny. So we've got 20 pennies left. We're good here, so let's close that. Items. Create an item. Rations. We're going to have 7 rations. So that's 7 pennies. We're going to have bandage. We'll just have one of those. So that's 8 pennies. We're going to have torch. Torch chairs. I say you'll get like 5 for a penny. So we'll go for 2. Well, we'll go for 10. So that's 2 pennies. So 2 pennies, 3, 5, 3, 10. A tent? Ooh, I like the sound of a tent. Backpack. Backpack. I'm surprised that there isn't a bedroll on here. Backpack. More pages? No. So I'm going to go bedroll. Bedroll. That'll be one penny. So 1, 3, 10, 13. Oh, we're going to need a flask. Flask. 14. We're going to need a rope. So that's 15. Yeah. Oh, I think we're gonna need. We're gonna need a knife. We'll do that for 1 penny. So 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I do think it's funny the weird hangovers that it has from Dungeons and Dragons, right? That's just kind of like a weird thing to have on here. And then we're just gonna have like 4 pennies. Let's use this for money. 4 pennies, right? And then how many hit points did we have? 21. 21. Not 1. 21. Okay. This looks good. That's all our gear. And then we go into description, right? So we can roll some of these dice tables. We'll go with very reluctant. We will, have them be that reluctant. I like the art in this as well. Good stuff. I approve. I approve of this game. At least, we'll see. I like the character setup. It's kind of interesting. It lets us make a heretical knowledge. Ooh. Heretical knowledge. Ooh. It lets us build an interesting character. One thing I am kind of sad by is that the sword doesn't start off at a level. I would say that your characters. It'd be fun if the weapon started off as a magic weapon. A, because it makes your character a bit more durable. B, it's just fun. So kind of like shift all these numbers up by 1, right? To have 0. Well, maybe just go like 0, 150, 200, 250, 300. Anyway, that's me pondering. A brutal past. Your character was once one of the church's most holy agents, an inquisitor. You were betrayed and captured by cultists, or maybe a close friend who sold their soul and yours in exchange for demonhood. Somehow you escaped the sacrificial ritual with your life. I see. I kind of just like the berserk kind of thing. Anyway. So let's go with this, and if we hate it, we'll just ignore it. Right. Okay, so how did we join the Inquisition? Your parents are burnt at the stake. You wanted to understand why. Fair enough. I joined the Inquisition because they burnt my parents at the stake, and I wanted to understand why. Children are stupid. We all know this. They're not, of course. 7. What became your greatest achievement at the Inquisition? Oh, I already re-rolled that one. I don't. You were personally commended. This is the same as the last one. I was personally commended for my service by Archbishop Anton. Clearly a demon. Participate in the great burning of 320 AI. Bit weird. Okay, who betrayed me? 1. A loved one. Betrayed by a loved one. Okay, I just want to double check something because I think this is probably going to be quite funny. If we look at harm for a moment, description, freeform sheet. So, alright, they were recruited as a orphan, personally commended by the Archbishop. Loved one, again, I see Archbishop Enton. I mean, I kind of like think that betrayed by a loved one. I mean, again, I think it'll be the Archbishop. Although he set fire to my parents, I don't know if I have a loved one. I don't think it makes any sense to have been betrayed by a loved one. So we'll re-roll. I don't like that number. 5. Can't. We're on fire. 3. Friend. Okay. Federico, the Purifier. 6. Why is the Inquisition hunting you? Well, because I'm branded, right? Or, well, let's roll and see if it gives us anything good, or we just need to re-roll until it gives us something good. 5. You killed one of their agents. Yeah, sure. Killed one of their agents who was attempting to do something evil. Oh, hello. Yeah, exactly. It is pretty shitty, but as noted, it was a problem that I had before, and oh, I hadn't noticed all these comments. This is sacrifice. A salt and incense RPG. So yeah, this is the game. So yeah, as noted, last time I played, I got loved one, and I'd made it the Archbishop Enton. This time, I'm gonna make it a friend because, well, as noted, the Inquisition set fire to the family. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm kind of feeling that the agents were the ones, the agents, because they opened up the gateway to the demonic realms, where I underwent agonizing tortures, not tortures. Character flaw. Let's see. 2. Drunkenness. No, I don't like drunkenness. A, it's not very exciting. 6. Cruelty. Okay. I mean, they were an inquisitor, and you know, inquisitors are the kind of people that set fire to people's parents. So yeah, okay. And yeah. Well, thank you very much. I can't. I'm gonna bring the little picture down here. Thank you. Oh yes, yeah. Let's just make sure that I get your name right there. Editor. Yes. Thank you. Haha. Right. Cruelty. I think, yeah, cruelty makes sense because of the kind of person that was an inquisitor, and inquisitors so far don't strike me as very nice people. And so I think that they'll probably go out there and when they're getting involved in kind of purifying the world in order to get revenge on the church, they're going to be pretty brutal about it. So that's cool. So where's my brand? Where have we been branded? Hopefully somewhere exciting. 9. Leg. That's not very exciting, is it? But okay, we've been branded. the demon's brand. Brand is on my left thigh. Left inner thigh. Inner thigh. On my left inner thigh. Brand never heals, nor does it go away. When in proximity of demonic forces, the mark of sacrifice. So we call it the mark of sacrifice. The mark of sacrifice. Yes. I should probably bring that over a little bit here so that all of the stuff that I'm jotting down can be seen. Perhaps the most dangerous side effect of brand. Alright, so the brand also attracts the spirits of the dead. And I think it will attract demons as well. And I think it will attract other inquisitors who need a slapping. So we're going to clap back at some of those dudes. Alright, yeah, so it's got this cool little function. Sort of like when you sleep, there's a chance that you'll get taken over by the dead. And they'll take your body for a test drive. So you can wake up in weird places and discover that you've done terrible things. So that's cool. Your character did not escape unscathed from their ordeal. Roll a dice to find out where we got hurt. Let's find out. This is where things could go really wrong. 1d8. 8. My bowels? I don't like anything that goes wrong with my bowels. Okay, what happened to my bowels? My bowels are wounded and scarred. In what way? Roll a d10. Okie dokie. Let's see what happens here. Roll. 9. Weak. Oh no, I don't want weak bowels. No, I'm not taking that. I don't want to be... No, we'll keep it. We've got weak bowels. What does it mean when it says weak? Okay, what's an example here of weak bowels? Bowels. Weak. The character sees their healing rate reduced by 1 hit point. Well, that's sad. Bowels are... My bowels were wounded. You can only imagine how their bowels were. My bowels were so devastated during my time in the demonic realms. I suspect in a terrible way. During my ordeal, I suffer -1 hit point regeneration. Cool, fine. This is a thing. It's better than losing a nose or something. I mean, at least I can still be my brutal physical self. Names. Okay. I just went with Malice because let's give it a proper name then. The next Inquisitor is of little importance. The following are the most common names for each nation. We haven't found out what, or if there's even tables to decide any of this stuff. Let's scroll through, see if there are any additional tables for wounds, travelling, mishaps. Lots of cool stuff in this book. I like this book quite a lot. Random bad guys, marks of corruption. The yes no oracle. Though as noted for the yes no oracle, I'm going to use the mythic emulator. So I won't be using that table. Complications, actions, themes. Well, what are we looking for? We were looking. Basically, I was looking to see if there are any tables to generate the characters' look and feel. Because, you know, that's cool. Soldiers, adventure seeds, treasures and rewards. stat blocks, bad guys, character sheet. Okay. Market corruption, finding events. Yeah, okay. I can't find a table for any of that, so maybe we can get a random generator. Who's my last patron? I think this time we're going to play a dude. So this is going to be a guy. And we're going to use the model. I say that. Let's go for a D6 roll. So 1 to 2, M, 3 to 4, N, 5 to 6, F. N. This is cool. Do 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 do. This is cool. So they're non-binary, gender fluid. That's cool. Have I got a good table for description generation tables? I probably do. Oh, I've got mythic. I'm a silly slime. A very silly slime. We've got mythic. Mythic probably has something for us. If we go appearance, what do we get? 83, sinister, 36, familiar. like that one uncle, right? Okay, we're gonna go that they've got long silvery hair, hawk-like eyes, and a beautiful. Because they're pretty attractive, right? They've got a 14 or a 15 charisma. The little wavy lines appear underneath things, but the right click to fix them doesn't work. So, you know, my uncle was nowhere near this handsome, but you know, they definitely were familiar and sinister. But long silver hair, hawk-like eyes, and a beautiful face. They seem to have a look that implies that they're always plotting something. They're always plotting something. Their form is sleek, yet incredibly strong. They clearly stand out if they are choosing to, but are often cloaked in darkness with their hood up, right? Classic look. Of course, I've done that. There we go. So that's a look. We've got a look. We've got a style. We know what we're dealing with. And then so yeah, shield expert. Cool. Right. Are we finished? Have we got a character here? Let's do anything else we need to fill in. So XP. We need to fill in the XP box. Let's just hide the book for the moment because this is all admin work. Admin work. What do we got? What do we got going on? What else have we got? We need an XP number. That's a cool picture. I do like the art in this book as well. Very good. I approve. I approve of the entire book. XP, 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 XP. And yeah, just trying to figure out, round this character out. So healing rate. Where do we find that? Where do we find all these bits and pieces? Mastery dice. Oh, this table for the XP. So we've got 4,000 experience points to start off with. 4,000. Anyway, you having a good time out there? Is it a evening, afternoon, wherever it is? Adita, is are things good? You having a good evening? Life treating you well? Right, next thing that I need to find. I'm not done yet. When your character reaches 0, you can perform a Constitution saving throw to avoid becoming unconscious. Okay, that's not important for this. Mastery dice, we've already got that. That's for D4. Healing rate, healing rate, healing rate. Where's the healing rate? DLs. Ah, here we go. It's pretty nice. And yours? Well, mine is going well. I mean, I'm here. Doing my stuff. Almost finished this character, so that's good. My day itself, yeah, I mean, I pretended to do real human work for several hours, and then I cooked, and now I'm doing this. And shortly I'll wrap up, and then probably watch some anime and have a nap, because I'm lazy, you know. DL initiative. So a character's initiative modifier is equal to their dex modifier. Our dex modifier is 1, so our initiative modifier is +1. Plus 1. Defensive level. Ah, right. But defensive level. Have we done that? We haven't done that. 16. Healing level. Healing level, healing level, healing level. Control F. Uh-oh. No, that's the wrong place to do Control F. Close. Shoot. Healing rate was D8 over here. I wonder why that was a D8. Control F. Healing. What anime? Well, the one that I've been watching the most was the depressed. The masterful cat is depressed. From this season, that's kind of been my main kind of go-to to watch. And this season, I've really not been down with this season, so that's kind of like being the big one. I watched Oku on Netflix and the other shoujo anime that's on Netflix. But that's been mostly it. There's some stuff I'm probably going to watch once it's all out. Like, I know that there's... what was it? I don't think Psycho Pass was new this thing, but I did notice that Amazon Prime has the Psycho Pass movie on it, so I need to watch that. But this season, I didn't like this season very much. Season wasn't good for me. Last season was pretty good because, I mean, I need to catch up on Horimiya at some point. That's going to be one that I catch up after the season's finished. Yeah. So this season, not my season. I need to watch the last 2 episodes of Gundam Witch from Mercury because I've not watched them yet. I was really enjoying it and I didn't want it to end, so I've not watched the last episode yet. Okay, right, so my hit points are 16 to 30, which means I have a D8 healing rate. So, there we go. So that's some of the anime I'm watching. I'm also watching a whole bunch of old stuff. So I'm rewatching like Blue Gender. And I'm rewatching lots of the old Gundam stuff. One thing I'm looking forward to is next season, the kind of follow-up to Initial D is coming out. MF Ghost, I think it is. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good. And it sounds like they've got Eurobeat back in it, so that's always good. Passive Perception. Passive Perception is 10 plus my Wisdom modifier, so that's 11. The cat one, yeah, I really enjoy it. It's one of those nice kind of like comfy anime. I'm big into comfy anime. I mean, I like loads of anime, but this season's just not been great. It is what it is. Sometimes you get misses, right? A whole season will be a bit of a miss. See, I watch Initial D a lot, right? Because Initial D has become one of those shows that I can just put on in the background, and I've had copies of it for like the last 15 or so years, from like the first season onwards. So I love watching that. But fortunately, MFG is like mostly new characters. There's like Ryosuke and Co kind of like show up, but they're not the main characters. But yeah, so that's cool. I eagerly await that. What's the last thing I have to fill in? Corruption. Do I have starting corruption? The world is an ugly place, being strangled and suffocated by the polluting influence of the demonic beings, which manifest itself as corruption. Normal human evil gives birth to metaphysical evil of corruption. A lord that enjoys handing out punishment too much, an inquisitor who revels in the screams of a heretic, a father abusing children. These are all portals to the demonic influences to seep into our world and those that inhabit it. Probably gonna have to do a content warning on the next sacrifice I run. I'll probably be running the actual game next week. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be running this week. I've only got 20 minutes left. Threshold is equal to their level plus their wisdom. Okay, so you don't start off with corruption by the looks of it. Okay. The threshold is equal to your level plus wisdom modifier. Okay, so our threshold for corruption is 3 plus 1, 4. See? Simple mathematics. I can do it. Also, something that I am really looking forward to that's coming up. Not immediately, but soonish. I presume next year sometime. Is the next Macross. One of the reasons why I'm thinking it's going to be quite funny is because Sunrise are doing it, and of course Sunrise do Gundam, and originally Macross was kind of supposed to be a send up of Gundam, so that'll be interesting. Malice 4000 XP, level 3, stats, mods, luck, threshold, perception, stat blocks, derived stats, hit points, defense levels. We're looking pretty juicy. Shield expert, superhuman strength, and master thief, because I want a bit of that. What's it called? A bit of that. Right, yeah. It's a sync, and they're both banging. I am super excited for MFG. Yeah, it's cool. There's also a motorbike anime coming up that look pretty good. I'm not really a vehicle person, but I've always been into the animes for those things. They're pretty exciting. This is coming from someone who really enjoyed Super Cub, which is a show about a girl that got a moped. It's not exciting at all for normal people, but I thought it was quite entertaining. But yeah, I'm looking forward to MFG. And we got intimidating blow, so we can cause some trouble. Our mastery dice is low, so I'd quite like to get that up at some point, because this is a dice that we use to smash like low level mobs about. But yeah, 8,000 points, 4,000 more XP to get before we get there. And I think, oh, look at that one. That's good. Oh, that's that's a picture, eh? This one. That's definitely a peculiar looking beastie. Have you watched Cowboy Bebop? Yes. I mean, anything. Well, a lot of stuff that's older, I've watched a lot. I mean, I used to watch everything. So, yeah, Cowboy Bebop. Most of the Gundams. Bubblegum Crisis. Both versions. AD Police. Dominion Tank Police. Anything that was old, right? Venus Wars. Akira, of course. Anything new? Knights of Sidonia. I really like Knights of Sidonia. It's hard to think of all the stuff that I have watched, but yeah, I really enjoyed Cowboy Bebop. I actually ended up watching Cowboy Bebop way later than most of my friends, because I didn't watch it until 4 or 5 years ago, because everyone kept on hassling me about it, so I eventually watched it. Yeah, cool. Top bananas. I think that's kind of the character built. What we should probably do is... Oh. This is a landing pad that doesn't work anymore, so we can get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Delete that. Yeah. Have I got a good scene background? I think I might do. If we're going to create scene, background, landing pad, and then go to configure and background image, and we go to worlds. We go to Otherworld, MNO. Do you? I mean, so do you do the role playing or anime or any of the rest of it? I need Otherworld. MNO. Oh no, I called it something else, did I? Was it this one? If we then go to assets, art, player borders, story images, landing zones. Let's change this to pictures. This one will do, I think. I think that's a good one. That's quite a good one as well. Well, let's use this one. Select. Turn the grid off. Save. Close you a second. Shrink you a bit. Don't need you. You. That's a pretty good background. I think that's kind of a cool one. It's not my greatest background, but it'll do. It'll do. Let's just put some window dressing on here. Here. Sacrifice. But spelled properly, hopefully, right? Sacrifice. No! Oh dear. Sacrifice. That's how you spell sacrifice. And that's... yeah. Text, color, or something more of a red field. Yeah. And then a bit bigger. 60-ish? Yeah. Yeah. Cowboy Bebop was really good. I liked it a lot. Really good. What game? I mean, yeah. What other animes have I liked? I can't think. I've got like so many of them. It's just madness for me to try and pick one. One of the problems I always have is that I like a lot of things a lot, and so when folks are like, "What's your favourite X?" and I'm like, "I don't know. I like lots of things, and depending on the day and the time of day and my mood, my opinion on what I like will probably change." Cool. And we may as well put, whilst we're here, we may as well put in a bounding box for our assets. Oh. So, if I get rid of this, I'm not sure. What the bounding box lets you do is, if you've got images and stuff in the exactly, particularly when we map it out over like multiple years of shows, right? Because I watch stuff back to the 80s, right? And for like mostly that era, we're just talking Macross, Gundam, Tokimeki, Memorial, Kimagure, Orange Road, that kind of stuff. Through the 90s, where you've got all the kind of the classic manga stuff that got brought out. Over here in the UK, it was like Manga UK, and you went to Blockbuster Videos, you got all the anime. It was good times. And now there's just so much stuff, so many options. I've been watching. I know, right? I've been watching rerun. So on YouTube, you could get like the 3-hour chunks of kind of Toonami and Adult Swim, and just kind of laying there in bed when I can't be bothered to get out of bed and watching those adult adverts and all, because I kind of missed that. So that's quite funny. It's also the only time I ever watch anything dubbed. But yeah. So if I'm going to do this, so yeah, with the bounding boxes, if we went here, say, add test, create page, paste, save. So you see the kind of there in the box, there'd be nothing there. This is normally I use it when I'm doing stuff with players, but then you can just go like so, and it'll go into the player's space so they can see it, which I think is cool. It's one of those things. Anyway, I think that's me. I think I'm done for the day. I think I've got the character built, and we're going to be able to play next week. Tomorrow, what was I thinking about running tomorrow? What was on my list? Let me check my list of things that I was thinking about doing tomorrow. Where is it? I need my Explorer. That's what I need. Documents. Downloads. Tomorrow, werewolf. That's what we're looking at tomorrow. So, well, thanks for coming and enjoying, well, the vaguely and I'm sure not particularly entertaining evening of visual delights that was me looking at a book. Your presences were enjoyed. And I hope you have a great day, great weekend, and hopefully see you again in the future. I try to be here like 7 till 9 most weekdays, unless I've got something else on, or if work's been terrible, or I just want to go to sleep, or any of the rest of it. So yeah, cool. I'll look forward to it. Have fun. Bye bye.